I'm here again tonight. I have dandelion greens. If you look back at my CSA box, one of the things that I had in there was the dandelion greens. So the reason I'm doing this tonight is because I think a lot of people don't know how to prepare it. And I looked online and tried to find the same thing that probably a lot of other people do. How do you prepare dandelion greens? And I like dandelion greens. One of the things that I'm doing tonight is I'm chopping them up, and they're in salted water. You don't have to heavily salt it, but you want to put enough in here to where it's going to help extract some of the bitters. So I've got this ready, and I will strain that prior to cooking. And the other thing that I'm doing is I've got a cutting board ready full of sliced onions. I prefer sliced onions because I like the caramelized flavor that you can really get from them, and I like the size of that. I've got garlic and bacon. Yes, over in the pan here, I'm going to walk over to the pan so you guys can see. In the pan, I rendered, you can actually see where the two bacon slices were, I've rendered some of the fat. The reason I have done that is because bacon fat has a lot of salt and good flavor to pick it up, but all I need is 2 slices. So all I'm getting is about a tablespoon of fat by cooking up 2 tablespoons of bacon. Okay, so after draining my excess liquid off of my dandelion greens, you will notice that your water is a little bit brown. And that's because the acids, it's not because your dandelion greens were super dirty, it's actually because the acids pulled out some of that bitter flavor in the water. So if you look in here, you can see the water is a little bit discolored. Okay, so once you have your fat rendered off of your bacon, you're going to want to add your onions first. Your onions are going to take about 5 minutes because you really want to caramelize your onions. You don't want it at too high of a heat. I would say medium to medium low. And it may even take you, depending upon your heat, about 5 to 10 minutes actually. So let it cook down and then we'll come back. Okay, so you can now see how much the onions have started to caramelize. You'll see the little bit of the brown coloration coming out in them. This is about the time you want to add the garlic. The reason you don't add the garlic in too early is because if you do, you're going to burn the garlic. And once your garlic goes brown, you want to get rid of it. You don't actually want to eat your garlic once it goes brown. So you can see that I'm going to add the garlic now. And this is a great time to add it because it's going to really soften it up, impart a lot of flavor, but not burn the garlic. That's the key thing. You just don't want to burn your garlic. Okay, so now we're back and we've got our garlic sauteed a little bit, maybe about 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Just enough to soften it up and impart, again, another really good amount of flavor into this mix. Now note, I'm not salting anything yet. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my well-strained greens. So these are what the dandelion greens are. They're gorgeous. They've got a nice little red hue to them. And they're well drained. We got the bitters out of them. And I'm going to let these saute just like you would spinach. Okay, so now you can see how much this has reduced down. And reduce means it's kind of wilted and started to lessen in the amount, in the sense of quantity. So it's the same way that spinach would. Now, dandelion greens are a little bit bitter. So in order to cut that bitterness, one, you have sweetness. Well, the onions, when you let them caramelize, they become sweet. The other way is using a red wine vinegar. So I'm just going to add a splash of red wine vinegar, enough to start to cut that bitterness and also to give it a little bit of sauce. And basically we are ready to serve. The only thing left, because we rendered the fat from the bacon, we need to add back the bacon. So we'll add back the bacon in crumbles. And this is a way that you and your family can enjoy dandelion greens. I hope you find something edible to chew on here today. Have a good day.